Hey guys, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell to be updated every time I make a new video. Thanks, let's begin. It's a softer version of Predator that still manages to turn boys into men. Robowar. This is the 1988 Bruno Mattei directed venture into the jungles of the Philippines, even though sometimes it looks like it was filmed in someone's backyard. Welcome to day 4 of director dedication for Bruno Mattei week. I have 2 reviews planned for today, so yeah. Check out my previous review for Woman's Prison Massacre, and let's jump right in. The plot! A bunch of soldiers are told to go to an island to do something, and so they're never told exactly what until they figure out that there's this robot who's out there trying to kill everybody, almost Predator style, although cheaper. That's really it. Red Brown and his fight with the Robo-Predator. That's all this movie was sold on. Why are we going here? You'll find out yourself. Maybe, maybe not, but you know. I remember hearing about this movie and seeing a couple clips when I was younger. Much younger, and I was like, this is not real. I forgot all about it for years, and then I was like, wait a minute, Robowar is a real thing? This is, as you can tell already, a shameless ripoff of Predator. It's pretty straightforward in that regard. Still, this movie sometimes is a slog to get through. It is so freaking slow. The characters just mosey around the jungle. Some shrubs. There is a guy up in the tree! They shoot at everything. Well, that's already dead. It's crazy. They must kill like 4 dead guys. It's like, what? That is until they reach the first passable set piece. I say passable because the flimsy buildings mixed with the drapes that are obviously very cheap, and the floppy-headed gorillas and super weak one-liners are barely what I like to think of entertainment. They're so bad, they're bad. The heroes are as untouchable as Steven Seagal on an off day, and no weapons. The only difference is these soldiers are armed to the teeth, so it's really not fair for the guerrilla soldiers. And no, guerrilla soldiers aren't actual guerrillas with soldiers. They were soldiers in Vietnam, and, you know. In Predator, at least Jesse Ventura got scraped. He shook it off, though. Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick. Here, I think the soldiers would lose their minds if one got stubbed on their toe by a bayonet. Okay, so one of them does step in a crude bear trap. Looks more like a sandwich trap than anything. However, that was by freaking accident. These soldiers are inept, but invincible. Not to mention the continuity is terrible. After the soldiers slaughter the entire guerrilla village, they are attacked by the robot. However, there are no bodies seen from their assault. It's like, where'd they all go? Poof? For the characters, we have Major Murphy Killzone Black, played by Red Brown from Howling 2, Your Sister's a Werewolf, Strike Commando, Space Mutiny, and, oh god help us, Night Claws. He is in his element, in the jungle, screaming his head off like he did at the end of White Ghost. And, dude, this guy, I love him. And, God bless him for keep on doing these movies into, like, the late 80s, early 90s, and even some newer ones, because his scream is iconic in the cult movie world, so it's more like a cult iconic scream. Catherine Hickland from Witchery and Ghost Town, both along with this movie, were released in 1988. She's there to be not a damsel in distress. She does try to fight the robot in one scene, but she doesn't really do much otherwise. She just kind of walks with the group. Queen, played by the late Max Laurel, who played a character called Zuma, which was based off a popular Philippines comic series. That's pretty cool. I didn't know he was anything other than the Indian, Spanish, Filipino from Robowar. Corporal Neil Corey, played by the late Ramono Pupo, who was the last hunter from The Last Shark. Also, he was Ratchet in 2019 after the fall of New York. Is kind of cool. He's got like salt and pepper gray hair. He's a big older guy. No, I really like his character's appearance. His one-liners, though. Means you better duck, shithead, because we're going to start settling some accounts here. What? Private Larry Garino, played by Massimo Vanni from Warriors of the Wasteland, as the purple mohawked Mako, as well as the back-bursting Taurus from Rat's Night of Terror, is the small guy of the group. He's not really the huge macho guy. He's kind of skinny and not really that impressive, but he is crazy. He enjoys the hunt and the kill. Sonny Blood Peel, played by Jim Gaines from Zombie 4 After Death as the last black guy standing, is pretty cool. I love his reactions to things. Like when he throws a grenade, he's like, ugh! It's like, what? Oh my god, that's great. Arthur Papadoc Bray, played by John P. Delaney, is kind of there. I mean, I like his appearance, but he doesn't really serve much purpose other than to be like a medic. And Sneaky Masher, played by Mel Davidson, is one of the guys who goes undercover with the group, and he knows more about it than they do about him. The Blu-ray does look quite nice, but it does kind of take away from the deep in the jungle feel of the movie. I used to watch the bootleg with the Spanish or Japanese subtitles or whatever, and it wasn't Spanish, it was Japanese or Chinese or whatever, and it was very dark and muddy, which felt more like a jungle. This is way too bright, but I do enjoy the appearance nevertheless. The atmosphere is cheaply acquired, but effectively done by some degree. And the film even uses some natural lighting. Not like in the sense of like, oh, this was lit by natural sunlight. No, there's sun rays going through trees and stuff. In some scenes, it looks pretty cool. For the gore, the effects, we get a ton of gnarly corpses that, well, are about it. There are some mutilated, some melted to the bone. We also get a couple of bloody bullet hits and a severed arm. It could have definitely been gorier, but I think with the budget, or lack thereof, that they had, they at least tried. The titular robot is a depressed tin can. I love it. It looks okay in some shots, and others you can tell it's either really crudely put together, or just they thought that was the best that they could do. It was very hastily done. But I love that he's like this depressed guy underneath it all, and just following orders. The motion picture soundtrack, Al Festa, who also composed Zombie 4 After Death, does a pretty solid job with this movie and what he's given. The main theme is iconic. It's so Predator. Other themes that come a bit later in the score are quite heartfelt and moving. Surprisingly, there's also some very lazy themes like bump 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 bump. That's all it really does. There are some themes that would go on to be used in Zombie 4 After Death. It's got a jungle flair to it I can respect, as well as some great Triumph themes. There are also 2 songs for this film. I Trust by Raph and Break It Up by Shout, which were both released in 1985. Only I Trust is on the CD that comes with the Blu-ray set from Severin. Break It Up was in the scene on the boat, while I Trust was while they were walking through the jungle. I wish it came with both songs, but the soundtrack, having an isolated soundtrack at all is great. So what do I think about Robowar? It's a boring yet totally boss movie. It starts to pick up pace in the second act, and it is pretty relentless. There are tons of hilarious lines of dialogue, some gory props, a catchy soundtrack and score, and it's just a viewing experience alike and unlike anything we've seen before. The Italians have this knack for thinking Americans talk one way when they don't talk like that normally at all. Whatever sounds cool, put it in the script. It just adds to the cheese. Overall, I give Robowar a 1.5 out of 5. Thank you all for watching, and I am Brian Gatto, the horror show host. Make sure to like, comment on, as well as share this video. like my Facebook fan page, and support me on Patreon, where even $1 a month will help keep this channel going on strong, and I'd greatly appreciate it. Plus, you'll get access to body counts and other music videos that you can't get on YouTube because of copyright and age restriction. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified every time I make a new video, and as always, subscribe.